Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive into the world of social media.
Ooh, social media.
I know you're out there scrolling and liking, and we all do it.
Yeah, definitely.
But today we're going a little bit deeper,
Okay.
beyond those perfectly filtered photos and the witty captions,
Yeah.
to really explore the impact
Uh-huh.
that social media has on our lives.
Right, because it's so interesting how we get drawn in by that promise of connection and information.
Yes.
And, that chance to discover new things.
Yeah, and it's like a never-ending party.
It really is.
You can always find something new to be interested in,
How you do
someone
that?
new to meet.
Yeah.
But have you ever noticed how you can start out just wanting to check in with friends,
Oh, yeah.
and then the next thing you know, 3 hours have gone by and you're researching
Oh, my God.
Japanese woodworking techniques,
That's a perfect example
right?
of just how powerful these platforms can be.
Yeah.
And you might be surprised to learn that pull you feel to keep scrolling. That, just one more video feeling is actually tapping into the same reward pathways
Oh, wow.
in your brain as addictive substances.
What?
Yeah, those likes and comments and notifications,
Mm-hmm.
they're like tiny dopamine hits,
Oh.
keeping us hooked.
So that's why it can be so hard to put the phone down.
It really is sometimes.
It's like your brain is being hijacked
Mm-hmm.
by all that stimulation.
And to make it even trickier, there's something called an algorithm at play.
Okay.
And it's constantly learning what grabs your attention
Oh, gosh.
and feeding you more and more of it.
So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I was just doing a deep dive the other day on a topic that's important for me.
Right.
And then I started seeing all this content about
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Well-
The algorithm saw that you were researching this,
Mm-hmm.
and it said, okay, I'm going to show you tons of content
Wow.
related to this, even if it meant you spend an extra hour online.
That's scary.
It can be.
So it's not just about willpower. There's this whole system that's designed to keep us engaged,
Yeah,
even if it's not in our best interest.
that's right. And it's important to be aware of that
Okay.
so that you can be more mindful of how you're using social media.
I like that, but it's not all doom and gloom, right?
Oh, no, definitely not.
There are definitely good things about social media.
Of course, we need to acknowledge both sides.
Right.
There are tons of positive aspects
Uh-huh.
to social media. Have you ever used it to learn something new or
Oh, yeah, all the time.
discover a helpful resource?
Just the other day, I stumbled across this online community of artists.
Oh, cool.
They share their work, they support each other. It's been really inspiring.
That's awesome.
But I do have to admit, sometimes social media can feel like an emotional roller coaster.
But all that connection and information comes at a price.
Okay.
Let's talk about the emotional side of social media
Okay.
and how it can impact. Have you ever scrolled through everyone's seemingly perfect lives
Oh, yeah.
and felt that pang of envy?
It's like everyone else is living their best life
Right.
while I'm, stuck in my pajamas with a pile of laundry.
Yeah.
And that feeling of missing out
Yeah.
is so intense.
You're describing the classic FOMO,
Oh,
fear of missing out.
I've heard of that.
And it's not just about missing out on events.
Uh-huh.
It's about comparing ourselves to others,
Oh,
feeling like we're not enough.
okay.
This constant exposure to these curated versions of reality
Yeah,
can really take a toll on our self-esteem.
it's true. And it's not just seeing other people's successes. It's feeling this pressure to present this perfect filtered version of myself online.
Oh, for sure.
It can be exhausting trying to keep up.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
I think a lot of people feel that pressure.
Yeah.
But remember, what you see on social media is rarely the whole picture.
Okay.
People tend to showcase the highlight reel,
Right.
not their behind-the-scenes struggles.
That's a really good point. It's important to remember that everybody has their own challenges and insecurities,
Absolutely.
even if they don't show them online.
And that's why it's so crucial to cultivate a healthy relationship
Okay.
with social media, one that serves you rather than drains you.
All right. So how do we do that? Give me the survival tips.
I've got them.
How do we make social media work for us
Yeah.
instead of against us?
Right. A great first step is to just declutter your digital space.
Okay.
You know how satisfying it feels to clean out your closet
Oh.
and get rid of things you don't wear anymore?
Yeah.
It's the same idea with your social media feeds.
So like unfollowing accounts that just make me feel worse.
Exactly.
Okay.
If scrolling through someone's feed consistently makes you feel envious or inadequate or just drained,
Yeah.
hit that unfollow button.
Okay.
It's about being intentional about the content that you consume.
I can see how that would make a difference.
Yeah.
What else can we do to break free from that constant scroll?
You know those screen time reports your phone gives you?
Yeah.
What can those reveal about your social media habits?
Oh man, those can be scary.
They can be a little scary.
I try not to look.
I know.
But I guess they can be helpful, right?
They can be.
For setting boundaries.
Absolutely. Most smartphones now have built-in features
Okay.
that let you set daily or weekly time limits for specific apps.
Finally!
Yeah, it's like having a little digital referee helping you stay on track.
I like that sometimes I need that external motivation
Right.
to put the phone down.
Exactly.
But what about when we really need a break?
Yes.
Like a full-on digital detox?
A digital detox can be incredibly refreshing.
Okay.
Even disconnecting for a few hours each day
Huh?
can do wonders for you.
Okay.
Try putting your phone away during meals or designate certain times or spaces
Oh.
as no screen zones.
I like that, like creating little pockets of peace
Exactly.
in this hyper-connected world.
Yes.
What about something a little more extreme, like a weekend with no social media?
So for those seeking a more immersive break, a weekend digital detox can be so beneficial.
Oh, wow.
It allows you to reconnect with yourself,
Yeah.
your surroundings, the people around you in a more meaningful way.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine waking up on Saturday morning and not immediately reaching for your phone.
I would love that.
It's a really nice feeling.
But what gets me is feeling like I'm just passively consuming
Yeah.
all this content. You know, I'm
Mhm.
watching everyone else live their lives
Right.
and I'm not living mine.
That's a common feeling. And that's where shifting your focus from consumption to creation
Okay.
can be really empowering.
Oh,
So instead of just scrolling, what if you started sharing more of your own thoughts or experiences?
interesting.
Or creations?
So turn the tables a little bit, become the creator,
Exactly.
not just the consumer.
Yes. Write a blog post.
Uh-huh.
Share a photo you're proud of.
Okay.
Start a conversation. Or join an online community that sparks your interest.
Uh-huh.
Contributing your own voice to the online world can be incredibly rewarding.
And it doesn't have to be perfect, right?
No.
We don't need those perfectly curated photos.
No, not at all.
Or witty captions.
Authenticity beats perfection every time.
I like that.
Embrace imperfection. Share what you're passionate about
Yeah.
and let your genuine self shine through.
Okay.
That's what truly connects with people.
That takes the pressure off.
Yeah.
So we've talked about curating our feeds, setting boundaries, taking breaks,
Yes.
even creating our own content.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to know what other people are
Yeah.
thinking about their relationship with social media.
Well, we asked our listeners on Instagram
Oh, cool.
how their relationship with social media has evolved over time.
Okay.
The responses were really interesting.
What did they say?
One listener said they used to spend hours mindlessly scrolling,
Oh, yeah.
but now they're much more intentional
Uh-huh.
about how they use social media.
Okay.
They unfollowed accounts that made them feel bad,
Mm-hmm.
and they started setting time limits.
Right.
And they said it's made a huge difference in their mental health.
That's awesome.
It is.
It shows that you can really take control
Mm.
and create a healthier relationship with social media.
Absolutely. Another listener shared how social media has been a lifeline for them.
Oh, wow.
They connected with people who share their interests
Okay.
and found support through online communities.
Yeah.
Helped them to feel less alone.
That's so powerful. It reminds us that social media, for all its downsides,
Yeah.
can be a force for good.
It definitely can.
Yeah.
It's about finding that balance,
Yeah.
using it in a way that benefits you,
Uh-huh.
and recognizing its limitations.
So it's not about deleting all your accounts or going off the grid completely,
Right.
but more about being mindful and making choices that align with our values.
You got it. And remember, you have the power to shape your experience
Okay.
with social media.
Well said. I feel like I'm already starting to think about social media in a new way.
Good.
It's not this big scary thing that I have to avoid, but a tool I can use to enhance my life.
That's the goal.
But I'm also realizing it takes effort to use it wisely.
It does take effort, but it's worth it.
Okay.
Think about it this way.
Okay.
You spend so much time and energy
Mm-hmm.
taking care of your physical health,
Right.
right?
Right?
Why not put the same effort into your digital well-being?
Oh, that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Like we go to the gym,
Mhm.
eat healthy foods, get enough sleep, all to take care of our bodies.
Exactly.
So it makes sense to do the same
Yeah,
for our minds.
For sure.
And that includes being mindful of how we use social media.
Absolutely. And just like with physical health,
Yeah.
it's about finding what works best for you.
Okay.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yes, we have.
From the science
Yeah.
behind social media's addictive nature
Right.
to practical tips for setting boundaries and even becoming a creator.
Uh-huh.
But I want to hear more about what our listeners
Okay.
are experiencing. Yeah.
You mentioned that question we asked on Instagram.
Yes. We asked, how has your relationship with social media evolved over time?
Okay.
And we got some really insightful responses.
I bet, like, what?
One listener shared, I used to compare myself to everyone else's perfect lives online,
Oh, yeah.
but now I'm much more focused on my own journey and what truly matters to me.
I love that.
It's a great shift in perspective.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in the comparison game,
So easy.
but ultimately it's about finding your own path
Right.
and defining success on your own terms.
I like that. And another listener said, social media used to be a source of stress for me, but now I use it to connect with people who inspire me and learn new things. It's become a tool for personal growth.
It's amazing.
It is.
It shows that it's possible to transform your relationship with social media
Yeah,
and make it a positive force in your life.
absolutely. And those are just a couple of examples.
Yeah.
We got so many thoughtful responses from people.
Who are actively reflecting on their social media habits and making changes to create a more positive experience.
Yes, and that's encouraging to hear.
It is. As we move toward wrapping up this deep dive,
Okay.
what key takeaways do you want to leave our listeners with?
The most important takeaway, I think, is that you have the power
Okay.
to shape your social media experience.
Yeah.
It's not about deleting all your accounts
Right.
or becoming a hermit,
Right.
but it's about making conscious choices that align with your values,
Okay.
your
Yeah.
goals, and your well-being.
Such an important message.
Yeah.
It's about reclaiming our agency in a digital world that often feels overwhelming
Yes, it can be.
and out of control.
Exactly. So curate your feeds, set boundaries,
Okay.
take breaks, focus on creation rather than consumption, and embrace imperfection.
I like that.
These are all tools you can use to build a healthier relationship with social media.
And most importantly, remember that social media is just one small part of your life.
It is.
Don't let it define you
Right.
or dictate your worth.
Your value and worthiness exist
Yes.
independently of likes and followers
All right.
or perfectly curated posts.
Okay.
Never forget that.
Yeah, it's so empowering to realize that we actually have more control over our social media experience
You really do.
than we think.
Yeah. And as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave you with one final thought-provoking question.
Okay.
How has your relationship with social media evolved over time?
Ooh.
What steps can you take today to make it a more positive force in your life?
Wow. That's a great question for all of us to consider.
Yeah.
I know I'm walking away from this conversation with a renewed sense of awareness.
Good.
And a whole toolbox of strategies to try.
That's great. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're all figuring out how to navigate this digital world
Right.
in a way that feels good and authentic.
And I think that's one of the most valuable things about these deep dives.
What's out there?
The sense of shared experience and the opportunity to learn from each other.
Right.
It's like we're all in this together.
We are, and that's why it's so important to keep these conversations going.
Okay.
Talk to your friends, your family, your colleagues about your experiences with the social media, both the good and the bad.
Okay.
Let's break the stigma around these conversations and create a more open and supportive dialogue.
Absolutely. The more we talk about it, the more we can normalize the challenges.
Right.
And celebrate the wins.
Exactly. And remember, there's no shame in asking for help.
Okay.
If you're feeling overwhelmed by social media, there are resources available to support you.
Oh, good.
Therapists, counselors, support groups. There are people who understand
Yeah.
and can provide guidance and strategies.
So as we sign off,
Okay.
I want to leave you with this thought. Social media, for all its complexities, is ultimately a reflection of ourselves.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's a mirror to our desires,
Yeah.
our fears, our aspirations.
And as we learn to navigate its intricacies with more awareness and intentionality, we're not just shaping our online experiences, we're shaping ourselves.
Beautifully said. So let's use this powerful tool to connect, to create, to inspire, and to make the world a little brighter, one post, one comment,
Love it.
one interaction at a time.
Until next time,
Yeah.
keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
And remember, the power to shape your social media experience lies within you.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We'll see you next time.